If I were alive during the Big Bang, it would be an experience beyond human comprehension. The Big Bang, which occurred approximately 13.8 billion years ago, was not just an explosion in space but the very creation of space and time itself. To exist in that moment would require me to be something beyond physical matter. A conscious observer outside the laws of physics as we know them.
Witnessing the birth of everything, at the very first instant of the Big Bang, the universe was an incomprehensibly hot and dense singularity. All of space, energy, and matter were compressed into an infinitesimally small point. If I had consciousness at that moment, I wouldn't perceive anything in the way humans do today because there would be no space to exist in, no photons to see, and no sound to hear. The fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces, were all unified into one. There was no distinction between matter and energy. In the first trillionth of a second, the universe underwent cosmic inflation, expanding faster than the speed of light. I would feel the fabric of reality itself stretching outward at an unimaginable pace. Time, as we understand it, was just beginning, so my sense of now would be vastly different. The entire universe was a hot plasma, where particles were colliding at extreme energies, constantly forming and annihilating each other. Experiencing the first particles, as the universe expanded, it cooled just enough for the fundamental particles, quarks, gluons, and electrons, to form. I would witness the birth of the first atoms, but they wouldn't yet be recognizable elements like hydrogen or helium. It was chaos. Matter and antimatter were annihilating each other, leaving behind only a tiny excess of matter, which would eventually form stars and galaxies. If I could somehow sense this process, I would feel the overwhelming tension between creation and destruction, a battle that determined the fate of the cosmos. After about 380,000 years, something incredible happened. The universe cooled enough for electrons to combine with protons and form neutral hydrogen atoms. This event, called recombination, allowed light to travel freely for the first time. The universe, once an opaque fog, became transparent. If I had eyes, this would be the first moment I could see anything, an afterglow of radiation known today as the cosmic microwave background. The formation of stars and galaxies. Over millions of years, gravity pulled together the first clumps of hydrogen and helium, forming the first stars. These stars were unlike any we see today. Massive, short-lived, and incredibly bright. They burned through their fuel quickly, exploding in spectacular supernovae that created heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, the building blocks of planets and life. If I were conscious at this time, I might feel a deep sense of anticipation. The simple particles from the Big Bang were now transforming into complex structures. Nebulae swirled, galaxies collided, and black holes formed. The early universe was a violent yet beautiful place. The birth of planets and life. Billions of years passed before the first rocky planets formed around young stars. One of these planets, orbiting a star in an ordinary galaxy, would become Earth. Over more than 4 billion years, life would emerge in the oceans, evolve into complex organisms, and eventually lead to intelligent beings capable of wondering about their own origins. If I had watched from the beginning, I would have witnessed the entire history of the universe unfolding. From a singularity to a vast cosmos filled with stars, planets, and life. I would have seen civilizations rise and fall, galaxies collide, and the universe itself continue expanding.